Alright, welcome to part 3 of cleaning coins. Cleaning wheats and Indian heads and copper coins. These 70 wheaties I'm going to tumble in a coin tumbler. And while they're tumbling, I'm going to use a few more methods as hydrogen peroxide to clean a few, baking soda, and alright, here I took pea gravel rock, which you can get for $3 or less at your local Menards or large hardware chain for less than $3 for 50 pounds of it. So I took one cap, took the cap off, took one cap, put it in there, have another one ready. I've got 70 wheaties in here. You can see the wheats on the back. I turned them all that way so you can see them all. And I'm going to take these, put them in here. Whoop. There's one that got away. Now I'm going to add the balance of the rock, pea gravel, and I'm just going to fill it up with water just to the top level of the rock and stop. And dump off a little bit of excess, just where you can see that the rock is a little damp there. Just a few drops of dishwashing liquid and 1/2 cap full of pine sol. Don't add too much pine sol, you'll turn out those pennies too copper color. In fact, a third of a capful will probably be enough. I'm going to be using a large capacity coin tumbler, but if I were... Alright, putting them down here on the big boy, and we'll get back to them in a little while. Alright, as promised, we're going to try a few other methods. One would be just bargain basement or any kind of baking soda. Put it in a sink. This is the way I clean most all my coins anyway. It's pretty gentle. And there's the wheat sand, if you can see it. I'll flip it over. Hope you can see that. Anyway, very easy and basic. Just put the wheat center coin in water, dampen it, and rub it for several seconds, up to a couple minutes. I'm not going to bore you with all that. I'm going to rub it for 2 minutes and then show you. It's already starting to look better. Alright, this is after about 3 minutes of rubbing. It's still wet. Use most of that baking soda, and all I'm going to do is just put it on a towel. You can pat or rub it. I would do this probably to a semi-key date, but not rub it as long. Now let's see if we can get a date on there. Read it. Hydrogen peroxide, regular, normal from any drugstore, is about 3%. Very diluted. This here is 27% hydrogen peroxide. It's a pool shot though. So I'm going to put this 1936 wheatie into a glass full of it. And I'll show you what most people do, but you've got to watch what you're doing with this. Most people will microwave this stuff and get it boiling and then put the coin in there. I'm going to do that for you right now. Alright, I've microwaved it for about 25 seconds and you can see it's boiling like crazy. So watch what happens when I drop this 1936 wheat cent in there. It really bubbles up good. Alright, this is after a minute. You can see that stuff steaming, gases off there. Don't get it on your skin. It'll turn your skin white. And definitely don't get it in your eyes. Full 15 minutes since I dropped it in there. You can see the water's turned dark. So you know some dirt had to come off there. And it's still steaming a little bit. see some of the steam rolling off there too. So let's take this and go wash it off with some baking soda and water. Alright, I've got baking soda in the sink, and I'm going to pour the hydrogen peroxide out and dump the... What a time for the battery to go down. I just changed batteries and scrubbed it up for about a minute and a half. You can see how dirty the baking soda is there. And let me show you what it looks like dried off. So that's a good result. 15 minutes in hydrogen peroxide and wash with baking soda. Here it is, a couple pictures. It's a good result, except for there's still some dirt or stuff on the back. Could have probably got it off with a toothpick maybe, but I think that's good enough. Okay, hydrogen peroxide worked well enough to where I want to try it on a couple other coins, but this one I'll do for you. It's a 1923 foreign coin. I don't know what it is, maybe you can tell me. And let's go through the same procedure. Alright, I guess I neglected to tell you that when I found this coin, I brought it home and washed it up with baking soda. And supposedly hydrogen peroxide won't work too well after you've done that, but let's give it a try and see. And we'll get back to you in 15 minutes. Alright, it's been 20 minutes later. It still looks like it's bubbling, brown stuff. So let's take it out and wash this up in baking soda and see what it looks like. Well, again, another excellent result. That's one side. Looks like it took all the dirt off. And the other side. Now I notice there's a little nick or dent behind his head. I didn't know it was there before. So, the hydrogen peroxide does work well. Only one thing. You got to make sure if you've got a green patina on your coin, you want to keep that. Hydrogen peroxide is not the way to go. But if it is brown or dark, maybe this is for you. Alright, here's after about 6 hours of tumbling in rock tumbler. Let me rinse them off and see what they look like. Alright, this is only after 6 hours in the coin tumbler. Let me dry them off and I'll show them to you. Alright, as promised, here are the 70 Wheaties after 6 hours of tumbling in a rock tumbler. And you can see not bad. Not a bad result at all. These were the last 70 that I hadn't tumbled yet. I put about 20, a little more than 20 in coin flips that were like semi-key dates. And I tumbled the rest in a big coin tumbler in that container. That's where all of them went. So here they all are now. I've still got to count them. That's all the Wheaties I found this year, and I know it's over 1,100 of them. So, I still forgot to mention one thing. And if you're going to hand clean coins and you want to put them in a coin flip or whatever, key dates or semi-key dates, you can use this coin care, which coin shops use just to take fingerprints off of their coins. Take a Q-tip, like you get in containers like this, and then you can use them later. And just go over, dip it in the coin care and go over it. So there we have it. Hydrogen peroxide, peroxide, and just baking soda. It don't look bad, especially after putting that coin care on it. Well, I hope you learned something. I did. Or maybe just use just a little bit less pine sol next time. And about the same amount of time tumbling. Okay.